Namaskar, I am Pratap. Today we will study coordination. Coordination is the principle of management which is applicable when there is a group effort. It is not applicable in case of individual efforts. It emphasizes unity of efforts. It has a common purpose of getting the organizational objectives. Lack of coordination results in Mahabharat. If there is no coordination among employees, the organization cannot achieve its objectives. So coordination is the essence of management. It is integration or synchronization of group efforts to achieve the objectives of the organization. Several people have defined coordination. According to G.R. Terry, coordination is the synchronization of efforts. According to Henry Fayol, to coordinate is to harmonize all the activities of a concern in order to facilitate its working and success. Coordination can have different meanings. It implies an orderly pattern or arrangement of group efforts. It requires unification of diverse and specialized activities. Its purpose is to secure harmony of action or teamwork. There are three elements of coordination: balancing, timing, and integrating. The features of coordination are: it is a group effort, it is a continuous process, it is a dynamic process, it changes, it emphasizes unity of efforts, it is the responsibility of every manager, it has a common purpose of getting the objectives of the organization. Coordination can take two forms. Number one, coordination of various activities. Number two, coordination of individuals. What is the need or significance of coordination? It is very much needed when the operations become multiple and complex in an organization. It is useful in organizations having specialized departments. It helps to avoid conflict between individual goal and organizational goal. It minimizes the differences and secures unity of action. Now we will discuss the principles of coordination. The first principle is principle of direct contact. Coordination requires communication, and communication is achieved through personal contact. Second principle is early beginning. Coordination should be started from the early stages of management process like planning and policy making. The third principle is the principle of continuity. Coordination is a continuous process and is involved with every managerial function. The fourth principle is principle of dynamism. Dynamism means change. changes in external factors cause changes in an organization. In such a situation, the organization has to follow the principle of dynamism to change the old organizational practices which do not remain workable. Principle of timing. One member of the organization facilitates the working of another if he synchronizes the timing of his work with the working of another. The last principle is the principle of reciprocal relation. The functioning of an individual is influenced by the functioning of others and vice versa. Now we will discuss the techniques of effective coordination. First, coordination by chain of command. Coordination is the most common method in which we can achieve coordination automatically through chain of command, because all subordinates under one superior are coordinated by the superior. This is called vertical coordination, and this is achieved through vertical communication. Coordination by leadership. Without leadership, no coordination can be achieved. Leadership brings individual motivation and persuades the group to have identity of interests and outlook in group efforts. Here, the subordinates cooperate willingly. Coordination by effective communication. Effective communication develops understanding between individuals or groups among whom coordination is to be achieved. Coordination by committees. Committees have the authority to take decisions. These decisions themselves provide coordination among various functions of the organization. Coordination by staff meetings. Periodic staff meetings can be highly effective. It gives everyone present a sense of unity. It provides an opportunity for subordinates to learn from their superiors about new problems. Coordination by special coordinators. Sometimes special coordinators are appointed for coordinating some specified activities, for example, a project coordinator. Self-coordination. A particular department affects other departments and in turn is affected by them. However, this department has no control over others. In such a case, if other departments modify their actions in such a way that this affects the particular department favorably, self-coordination is achieved. It is also known as horizontal coordination, and it can be achieved through horizontal communication. Essentials of coordination. Well-defined authority and responsibility. It helps people to be clear about what is expected of them and there will be no ambiguity. Second essential is effective communication system. Effective communication improves understanding between individuals or groups. Third essential is well-defined work procedures. Well-defined work procedures facilitate procedural coordination. Fourth essential is provisions of check and introspection. It helps to correct those factors which create problem in coordination. Finally, barriers to coordination, competition for resources, threats to autonomy, disagreement on objectives, differing expectations of coordination, lack of trust, cost or benefit perceived as unsatisfactory, unilateral donor actions and agendas, rapid staff turnover, poor transition preparations are some of the barriers to coordination. So a good coordinator is a good leader, and a good leader is a good manager. So to become a good manager, you must be a good coordinator. Thank you.